Today we're going to discuss recruiting and hiring. So the first things we're going to talk about is the process of recruiting and hiring. We're going to go over competency-based hiring, which is the first article that you read, employment branding, talk about fundamentals in hiring employees, which is the second article that I posted. I'm going to present you with a video from YouTube just basically about what not to do during an interview. We'll talk about a little bit about hiring during COVID, then some factors to consider before making a job offer. And at the end, I'm going to show you a couple people wanted to see an example of a bad resume and also an example of a job description. What is recruitment and hiring process? Recruitment may be defined as the process of gathering and assessing a pool of candidates who potentially meet the required knowledge, skills, and experience necessary to ably fill a defined position within your organization, and also successfully carry out its rules and requirements. Hiring, on the other hand, is part of the recruitment process that involves making a decision on the most suited candidate and offering the position to them at a fee. The purpose of recruitment process: finding the best candidate, incorporating traditionally underrepresented groups, equal opportunity for all applicants, diversifying the workforce, retention of the best talent, and employee brand creation. There's two different forms of recruiting. There's passive and active. Passive is when employers recruit passively. They do little more than to post openings within their company's website and wait for applicants to apply. There's such a large amount of applications that they really don't have to do anything else. Maybe like McDonald's or Taco Bell or any kind of a place like that, Walmart. On the other hand, active is when they attempt to engage potential employees through job fairs, by visiting college campuses, by posting to external sites, and by other means. The hiring process. First, you need to identify the need for the position within your organization. Then you plan your recruitment for the job, publicize the availability of your position, whether it be, once again, actively or passively, review your applications, interview the most qualified, check references and perform background checks, select the most qualified person for the job, then offer them the job, then negotiate their salary, details, and start date, and then also welcome the new employee. So competency-based hiring it emphasizes the experience and skills the staff member will need to successfully thrive in your position. Competencies are worker-based factors that help differentiate superior performance from average performance under specified circumstances. There are three types of competencies that should be included: skills, knowledge, and the behavior necessary to perform the job. Past behavior predicts future behavior, most generally. Duke University and the food service company Sodexo both use competency-based hiring. Also, competency-based hiring is very common now in the public sector. It reveals how well people will apply their skills and knowledge for the job. Competency groups. They execute job duties such as software and computer proficiency, interpersonal skills, accounting skills, or specific laboratory techniques. Knowledge. Areas of specialty or expertise, for example, nursing, finance, employment law, or history. Behavior, which is one of the most important characteristics an employee must display in the job. For instance, initiative, can't say that word, research, or professionalism. Core competencies. This is things that people look for. Position-specific competencies, and there's also organizational competencies. Position-specific refer to the abilities and behavioral characteristics required for success in a specific role or job. Developing these competencies, particularly for a new position, often requires collaboration with team members and other stakeholders, and input from the human resources department or a recruiter. On the other hand, organizational competencies refers to the qualities and attributes that characterize success across an entire organization. Organizational competencies could include values established by a company or an association's mission statement. Traditional-based hiring is very task-oriented with a focus on technical skills. Functions primarily as a tool for outlining the responsibilities of a position, typically with a list of duties to be performed by the employee. Examples of this can be found in a local newspaper. These are offered in local employment office postings, temp agencies, internal hiring. So an employment brand is the way your organization, prospective applicants, candidates, and employees perceive you as an employer. Employer branding is your unique scent. It's everything that makes you different, everything that makes you stand out. In creating an employee brand, you need to know your organization's business, vision, mission, values, and culture. Conduct internal, external research. You need to define an employee value proposition and develop a marketing strategy. And you need to align the employee brand with your overall company brand. So some skills for a competency-based job description that you're going to want. Job information is going to be your position, title, department name, title of your supervisor, and titles of those supervised if applicable. Scope, the job's financial, supervisory, and faculty and student responsibilities. Job summary consists of 1 or 2 concise sentences summarizing the main purpose of the job. Principal accountabilities, comprising a list of the primary tasks and responsibilities the job is expected to perform, as well as the end results that are to be achieved. Your minimum qualifications, which contain a list of experience, education, and certification required of the employee performing the job. Minimum competencies, consisting of a list of the skills, knowledge, and behaviors that are required for the employee performing the job. Lastly, preferred qualifications, which contains a list of experience, education preferred for the employee for the job. Obviously, competency-based is way more detailed. They really look at everything that makes up the employee, and it's going to fit what your organization is actually looking for. The second article you read was Human Resource Management Fundamentals, and it discussed how to hire an employee, how to develop a job description, how to make a recruiting plan, how to post jobs to find qualified applicants, how to review a cover letter, how to review a resume, and how to screen applicants by phone. And also, I'm going to pause the video so you can watch the YouTube video about hiring. I think you guys will really like it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about hiring during the pandemic. With the possibility of periodic lockdowns and reduced capacity in public spaces extending through the end of the year, job seekers are looking for security and safety for themselves and their income. Azuna notes a 600% increase in job seeker queries that includes the word remote, telecommute, or work from home. When hiring for an in-office role with some remote capabilities, the job description should state that the company follows all cleaning and social distancing protocols instituted by public health authorities. Remote working. When reviewing applicant resumes, try to glean where they may have worked remotely in the past, if not explicitly stated, and how successful they were in that position. So it's really important to know if they've worked from home before and how well they can. Some people, it's like with classes, some people prefer to go to school, while others like to do online. Some of us are better at managing our time. Also, video interviewing, which is new for a lot of people, may be new to some employers, but there's already a treasure trove of resources that make it easier and articles with common sense advice on how to evaluate during an interview. There's also phone interviews, which is another pretty common way to do it. So now we're going to talk about some factors to consider before making a job offer. First, you're going to review the feedback information from the employees who served on your interview team. They should be able to provide you with some beneficial information about the people that you're interviewing. If you've been able to obtain feedback from former supervisors and managers of the potential employee, you have a gold mine to review. Yes, people change, but not that much, and not that quickly. The time you spend with each candidate is an opportunity to assess the candidate's potential to fit within your culture. You need to assess whether you are confident that the potential employee with appropriate training and mentoring can do the job. In answering this question, you also need to assess your candidate's relevant experience. You need to assess whether you are confident that the potential employee with appropriate training and mentoring can do the job. Very important. In answering this question, you also need to assess your candidate's relevant experience. You need to assess whether you're confident that the potential employee with appropriate training and mentoring can do the job. In answering these questions, you also need to assess your candidate's relevant experience. So I just said that. Can you see her developing the skills necessary to lead a project team? Finally, you need to assess which candidates will add overall strategic and personal value to your workplace. So on the discussion board, someone wanted to see an example of a bad resume and what not to do, and also a job description. So here's the top 10 list of resumes don'ts. Number 1, don't ever, unless you're applying to be a model or an actor, include your photograph, no matter how pretty you are. Nobody really cares or wants to see that. It's not important. Number 2, don't submit a resume without taking time to design it. Ugly, bland resumes make your experience look ugly and bland, like yellow shirts and knitted yarn. Number 3, don't include stuff that employers might unfairly judge you, like your age, marital status, religion. Sadly, some employers do have prejudice. Number 4, don't have any typos or errors. They make you look lazy and incompetent. Number 5, don't include stuff from your high school glory days, unless you're still in high school, of course. President of the chemistry club isn't as cool as it used to be. Number 6, don't include hobbies that make you look bad or weird. No one wants to hire the party freak crazy cat lady. Number 7, don't include your GPA if it is lower than a 3.5. Some employers are picky about that. If yours is lower, impress them in other ways. Number 8, don't put stuff that nearly every breathing human being can do. That's kind of common sense. So for an example of a job description, basically it needs to have the title, the purpose of the job, and what you're looking for in an employee. Reporting to staff, who you're going to report to is your boss. Location, key functions of the job, also responsibilities. What are they going to do there? What are they going to be responsible for? And that concludes my presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a few things, and have a good day.